It has been a while since I have given you a full car collection update, so I thought today is the day I give you a full car collection update. So since I started YouTube and doing my social media stuff, my car collection has been constantly evolving and changing and adapting to my needs. Certain times I've had more track cars, other times I've had more dailies. Now I feel like I have a good blend of cars. A few comments in my last 911 collection video were like, oh, can we get a full update of what cars you have in your collection, what's coming and whatnot. So I thought I'd take the opportunity to do that today, talk you through it. I'm going to try and do this not necessarily in one take, but in one strong go. So bear with me if I run out of breath, because this will probably be a lot harder than it looks. We have some of the cars here. Unfortunately, 3 cars aren't here, but I'll tell you about those in a minute. 2 of them you know, and 1 of them you've never seen before, because I haven't shown you guys. So the first car I'm going to start with is a car that I realized you guys have never seen on YouTube before. It is our daily Range Rover long wheelbase autobiography. I can't remember what version it is. It is a P460e. No idea what that means, but it is a hybrid. The reason we got this car is that we had the BMW i7, which a few people have asked me about. That car is now sold because we needed something that could offer us a bit more space. The i7 was great, however, the back seats were pretty much cramped, especially what we needed it for. We have 2 kids now, so I wanted a car that would be a bit more flexible. We were going to get something like a Bentley Bentayga, but again, it didn't have that space. Then we started looking at the Range Rover. I'm a serial Range Rover hater, or at least I was, until we came across this wonderful car. We were gonna get a 7-seater version, but I realized that the hybrid one is more beneficial to my life because I can take my son to nursery and never have to turn on the engine. But this car is huge. It is definitely the largest car we've ever had, and it provides us with space. Ignore the missing center cap here. I literally don't know what happened to it. Just ignore that. It's on 24-inch rims. These aren't standard rims, these are custom rims that came with the car. It's also got this split 2-tone style. The bottom half is PPF and the top is like a black wrap because the car is just grey. Anyway, it's got a wonderfully white interior, or cream interior, as I like to say. Cameraman Nathan's gonna have to navigate around us. Yeah, cream interior, and as you can tell by the excessive amounts of Capri Sun and kids clothes, this is the family car. And when I say it has a lot of space, I mean it has a lot of space. This is a swivel seat, by the way. My child doesn't face this way. But look how much space there is, and that's with these seats fully reclined for maximum entry capability. We can put the kids back there and someone can critically sit in the middle of them, which is nice because sometimes, you know, if you have a baby or if you don't have a baby, they need stuff when you're in a car. It also has tons of storage space. In terms of performance, 4-wheel steering really does the trick. It has air suspension, which is really good. Look, prams. We have prams with an S in this car. 4-wheel steering really does the trick. The suspension is comfortable. Straight line performance, I have no idea. I've never actually floored this car because that's not its purpose. What it is here to do is to take my family from point A to point B, and it does that exceptionally well. Downsides, it doesn't really have a downside, if I'm being honest. And I, again, was a serial Range Rover hater. People always talk about the reliability. I had a Range Rover in the past, worst experience ever, would not recommend. But then I got this, and this has been amazing. Like this, like I didn't want to like this car. I love it. Oh yeah, the reason I can say that is because my friend gave it to me to borrow, then we just bought it off him. Anyway, on to the next car, Lamborghini Urus Performante. This car has been here for a long amount of time. This is probably one of the longest in the collection. It's been about 3 years we've had this car. I keep going to sell it and I can never bring myself to go through with a sale just because there is something special and unique about this car, but it's not all perfect, which I'll get to in a minute. But if we come around to the front, this Urus Performante is in Viola Mitris. It's a very dusty Viola Mitris. My neighbors are doing construction work at the moment. They're upgrading the house. It looks really cool, so I'm really happy for them. But there's dust essentially on the cars, but nothing a little washing can't fix. I have a detailer. I don't think you guys have met him on YouTube. His name's FJ Wheels. He's like a top guy. Anyway, back to the car. Viola Mitris. This was a special option, a special request, ad personam, Lamborghini call it. It cost £20,000 for this paint. £20,000, but it changes from purple to blue. So essentially it's 2 paint jobs. That's probably how Lamborghini justify it. The car has this exposed carbon bonnet. This is actually really hard to get because there are supply restrictions. Carbon vents, carbon side seals, is a lot of carbon. It's a more aggressive, more dialed in version of the Lamborghini Urus, and it's a great car. The only thing that I can say about this car that I don't like, the suspension is criminally stiff. it's too firm. Going over speed, should I tell you how firm it is? This car is more firm than that car, which I'll get to in a minute. Anyway, the car is in Viola Mithras. We've had it for, again, 3 years, loads of carbon fiber. When I ordered this car, I said, can I have every option? But there was supply restrictions, so it didn't get every single option, but I got most things. It's in this Alcantara and yellow in the interior. It's like a LA Lakers spec car. Space for my children, I can put them in the back quite easily. There is not as much space as you get in the Range Rover if you compare. You can also see there's loads of children's snacks on the seats and the floors. This needs a good clean. Panoramic roof, it's a very fast car. This has 666 CV, which I believe is 658 horsepower or something like that, rapid. The only thing, and you've probably seen it when I've drag raced it on CarWow, is that this car is very susceptible to something called heat soak. So you do a 1 or 2 runs with high speed, and then the engine limits and restricts the amount of power it can put out until it cools down the components. I think that might be governed by the gearbox. I'm not sure. It's got a ZF 8-speed torque converter gearbox. It's not a great gearbox, but it works perfectly in an SUV. None of the cars in my collections have the ZF 8-speed because that gearbox, although being very reliable in a daily, I didn't want it in any. Some companies put it in their supercars. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. These are both ZF 8-speed gearboxes. Great gearbox for daily stuff. Terrible if you want a performance car. Works okay in the Urus. The Urus is also quite cool because if you come to the back of the car, it actually came from factory with a performante, with a Krapovich gearbox? A Krapovich exhaust. And it sounds a little something like this. But yeah, this car is cool. Again, every option, even carbon fuel cap, in case you want to make your 2.5 ton car a little bit lighter. I do love it though, and again, I'm not sure how I'm going to sell this because I wanted to take my kids out the other day and I didn't want to go in the range. I wanted something a bit more cool, a bit more sporty, and then I was like, wait, I wish we had a sporty car that I could fit 4/5 people in. And I realized we do. So anyway, Urus is back, yay. Wheels are black now. The person that actually got the car painted the wheels to black, but I'm going to re-diamond cut them, which is another cost that I don't really want to have to do. Anyway, on to the next car. So if you come around here, look, I'm trying to go from most dailyable to least dailyable. Again, there are some cars missing, but I'll get to that later on. But for now, we have the Mercedes-Benz SLS 63 AMG in Magno Night Black, I think is what the color is. Again, if you haven't seen the video, this car is the only car in the world that got delivered in this color. Fun fact, it's a very highly optioned car. It used to be owned by a member of the Qatari royal family, so it's pretty much got every single option. It is sick. I love this car. As a daily driver, it works. As a supercar, it works. As a cruiser, it works. It just kind of ticks every single box. And my favorite thing about this car is gull wing doors. Is that not cool? Mercedes don't make cars with cool doors anymore, unless you count the AMG Project One. But gull wing doors, the only time they've used gull wing doors, apart from the 300 SL that came before, which this car is like a spiritual successor of. I'm not even sure how much horsepower this has. 570? Is it 570? Let's say 550. I'm not sure, but it's fast enough. We took it on the Autobahn a few months ago. I got 198 miles an hour out of it, which is insane because the car's like 14 years old. But that probably wasn't safe when I think about it. But it is an amazing car. If you come round, you will see it has a wonderful red interior. I think this is the only car I have with a red interior. I've had a few cars with red interiors in my lifetime. I'm not a massive fan, but it suits this spec really well because you get the red interior and the red calipers. This car has, again, almost every single option. So it's got a carbon fiber door sill, carbon fiber interior, and critically, it has a carbon fiber engine bay, which costs 10% of the car's value when new. So not many cars have that. I could probably sell the carbon in the engine bay and make a killing. But I'm not going to do that. I was actually thinking, should I sell this car? It's been great to have, but they've gone up in value so much that I'm thinking would now be the time to take advantage of it. However, I think personally that I should probably hold on to it because I'm not sure what I'd replace it with. And if you have any suggestions, let me know. A 430 Scud would be nice. Maybe I'll do that. I'm not sure. Anyway, this car sounds sick. Naturally aspirated 6.2 litre, even though it says 6.3 on the side, V8. And it sounds a little something like this. In case you're wondering why my pockets look so bulgy, is because I have every single car key in my pocket. So I'm trying to find the key for the SLS. Hey, SLS key, a very boring Mercedes key. But the only way to get in the trunk of the car is by pressing a button on the inside. The trunk space though is sufficient. It works as a Grand Tourer. The car is a transaxle, so the gearbox sits back here on the transmission. Fun fact, the same gearbox that is in the Ferrari 458 is in here. So technically, it's the same car as a Ferrari 458, but rarer. But yeah, transaxle, you can put stuff in there. It's just great. When we drove to Germany, the car was literally perfect. Not a single issue, considering the age of the car. It just didn't have any problems. And that's just German engineering to a T, isn't it? Just bulletproof cars. I really like it, but again, not sure if I should take my profit and run. It's gonna keep going up in price, so I could just hold on to it. But then if I got rid of this, I could potentially get something else. I wouldn't mind a 430 Scud. I wouldn't mind, but then it's not as usable as this. Anyway, SLS, amazing car. Hey, I just realized I have carbon fiber on the back of my seats. Did you know that? I never knew that. Finding new options every day. Usually, I drive this car with the spoiler down. A lot of people think it looks better with the spoiler up. You know what? In fact, let me put the spoiler up and you let me know what you think looks better, and that's how I'll leave the car semi-permanently. It does look sick with the spoiler up. I'm not sure if it looks better though. I don't know if it looks better. It does look cool though.
It looks cool, but it
doesn't need to be up. It just looks excitable. Anyway, on to the next car. And here is currently the newest car in the collection, my 992.2 911 Turbo S T Hybrid Porsche 911. Did I even say 911? I'm not even sure. So if you haven't seen my most recent video, we now have a 911 Turbo S. The first time I've had a Turbo S. You're probably like, Tommy, where's your GT3 RS? Where's your Touring? I sold both of those cars because, well, the GT3 RS, I had put through its paces and I thought it was time to go before it lost any more value. And then the GT3 Touring, I just didn't really like that much. I thought I was gonna love it, but I made a mistake of getting a GT3 after getting a GT3 RS. Probably should have done it the other way around. I wasn't sure what would tickle my scratch my tickle. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. But this 911 Turbo S is such a different experience to the GT3 RS, and not in a negative way. It's more like a sidestep to the GT3 RS. The GT3 RS is just performance, 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 and this is still performance, but with all the luxuries of a regular 911. It handles well thanks to a new system they've installed on the suspension system, and then it drives very, very fast because it has 711 horsepower, which is more than anyone needs. But I have it in a 4-seater Porsche 911. If we want to overtake anything, it can do it. If I want to put my son in the back, I can get him in the back. I could have got him in the back of the Touring, but his seat that he was using was a bit bigger then. So it was a bit more of a struggle, but this is absolutely fine. Put his mum in front of him. My daughter is in a smaller seat, so I'm not sure how I'm gonna do that. But this car is sick. It surprised me. I was expecting to be very bored because I've heard a lot of people say, oh, Turbo S is boring, oh, this is boring, but Porsche are putting a lot of work in the newest generation to make it a more interesting car. And yes, it is a hybrid. However, you cannot plug it in and you cannot drive it on electric mode alone. The hybrid system works by spooling the turbos up before any pressure goes through them in order to eliminate turbo lag. And also there is an electric motor in the gearbox that adds a little bit of extra boost as you're going along. It is a very cool car. Very dialed in, and it's like almost perfect at everything. Perfect handling, perfect speed, it's comfort, it just does everything perfectly. And maybe some people see that as a negative, but I see that as an experience. However, I would not call this car a supercar. My rules for supercar, and I've said this on my TikTok, and I've been saying this on my YouTube for years, my rules for supercar is if you have a base version that's a sports car, you are not a supercar. So this is a very fast sports car. And it sounds, well, it sounds, here's a sound clip. Moving on. And what is undeniably the quickest car in the collection, not necessarily the fastest, the Ferrari SF90 is back home where it belongs. It was away for a very long period of time. People always ask, like, why, when are you gonna tell the story? What was it? Well, anyway, people wanna know why I was away. I can't, because I signed something that says I can't say yet. We'll see. I might be able to say this very soon. We'll see. Depends how nice they are to me. But the car's great. Well, before, let me caveat that with Ferrari Hatfield did nothing wrong. That is my caveat. Anyway, the SF90 is here. Amazing car. Looks incredible in sunlight. 1,000, I was gonna say great British horsepower, but 1,000 horsepower, 0 to 60 in yes. And a top speed of over 200 miles an hour. This car is utterly remarkable. Not having it for a while made me realize how good this car, like, I really took this car for granted. This car is incredible. Drives well, looks sick. I think it's aged really well. When it first came out, people weren't sure, but now, look at it. Ferrari SF90. This car is in Rosso Corsa. This was my first Rosso Corsa Ferrari. Every other Ferrari I've had has been blue. I don't know why, but it's in Rosso Corsa, black and red interior. If you come to the rear of the car, something that's really cool on this that not many people know is that it's got a 90-degree V8, so the angle is wider. That means they could mount the engine lower and lower the car's center of gravity, so you can't even see the engine there. It's just, there's no point in this glass even being here. It sounds very okay though. Here's a sound clip. But I am planning to put an exhaust on the SF90 to make it sound a bit more raspy. I was thinking, should I sell this car? I think I'm gonna keep it because it's just, I love this car. And for this amount of money, you can't get 1,000 horsepower. What does it compete with? Lamborghini Urus absolutely annihilates that. The 911 Turbo S, I think it will still annihilate that. Even though 911 Turbo S is launch hard, this just has 300 more horsepower. But this car is ultimately one of my favorite cars that is in the collection. It is incredible and it's incredibly fast. The only issue I have with the SF90 is if we come to the front and I get the key. I've got so many keys in my pocket right now. It has the coolest key of all the cars. But if I press a button on the key, you will see, I didn't mean to rhyme that, but there is no storage space whatsoever. You can't get anything in there.
Maybe a laptop?
A laptop you can get in there. I think, yeah, you can't get anything. Not even one luggage carry-on. A small backpack, yeah. So if you want to take this car on road trips or go away with your wife, no is the answer to that question. Cameraman Nathan said it looks fast. It looks flipping quick. Like, it just looks stupid. I love this car. Underrated.
Nice, sleek,
yeah. For 300 grand, you're not gonna get anything better than this. Here's a quick word from our sponsor, and the sponsor is no one, it's just me, and it's to do with mental health. I just wanna say, guys, if you're having mental health issues, I get really stressed out, I get overwhelmed. I suffer with almost like depression a lot of the time. And the best way I can get around that is by talking to people. So I recommend using some of these people on screen now to speak to. It's very important if you haven't got friends or family that you're ready to speak to. But there's loads of companies out there, especially for young men who suffer from very high depression rates and very high suicide rates. Young women as well, it's very important that you talk to people. I think that life can be very challenging at times. And even when it's not challenging, it might feel like the world's coming to an end. But trust me, it's not. Unless you've done something illegal, you should probably worry. But positive energy I'm sending you guys, please. If you're stressed out, if you need someone to talk to, people are there to help you. Next, it's time for the most expensive, the most rare, and the most unique car in the collection, the Porsche 918 Spyder. Cinematic sounds. So we've had the 918 Spyder going on 9 months now. It was funny because people were trying to say I didn't really buy one and I wasn't going to buy a hypercar. I was only doing it for content. It's still here. It might look weird on camera because it's got satin PPF, but it's still here. This is potentially my favorite car in the collection. It is the only convertible we have because I have allergies. This car is incredible and it's opened my eyes to the possibilities of automotive engineering. The Porsche 918 Spyder just shy of 900 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 2.2 seconds, and a top speed well over 200 miles an hour. But that's limited by the tires and not by the car. This is incredible. to drive is an experience, to own is an experience, and also it's gone up in value quite a lot, which makes me very happy because that means that I've made money by owning the 918 Spyder. In fact, I've made money by owning a lot of cars, but this one has seen the largest profits ever. So when I got this car, it was 1.25 million. The cheapest one for sale today is 2.25 million. And I know personally of someone that just bought one with 10,000 miles for 1.9 million pounds. So I'm in the green. And if my wife sees this, you can't complain that I keep buying cars because I'm smart, kind of, I hope. Nothing happens. Do you know, it'd be really bad if there was like a war going on right now. They'd tank the economy. That would suck. Anyway, yeah, hey, at least it's a hybrid. 918 Spyder, again, this car was part of the holy trinity. LaFerrari, McLaren P1, 918 Spyder, and arguably, it is the most rounded of that trinity. It is definitely the most reliable, and it was the fastest around the track, completing Nürburgring in sub 7 minutes, which was a feat back then. I can't remember the exact time because I am not a computer, but if we open the door, you can see it's left-hand drive because all of them were left-hand drive, but this car is incredible, and I will never sell this car. Just like another car that's not here that you're probably thinking, where is it? But again, I'll get to that in a second. This is a race-derived V8 engine. So it's originally designed to run in Le Mans, and it sounds like a race car. So here's the sound clip. This is it. It's got an exhaust on it. That sounds so good. An intricate design and such an interesting car. This has been incredible to own. I'm going to do more road trips in it, but for now, I've just loved just looking at it, coming into my garage, being able to see that it's there. It feels like an accomplishment. It makes me proud, makes my wife proud, and it makes just makes me smile. Driving it is just incredible. But having one hypercar is fun. Do you know what's better than that? 2 hypercars. There is a little teaser to what might be going on this year, but basically another hypercar should and will probably join the collection very soon because I love spending money. No, I love making money on cars, and after making a lot on this, I want to do that again with another car, but you have to spend a lot to own the car. But anyway, it's not that expensive to service. I recently got some work done on this car. It cost me like £3 grand to change the AC fluid and some other stuff. Anyway, if you want to learn more about the 918 Spyder, I have a very fun video where I took this car to Monaco, literally from this spot to Monaco. A very long and interesting video, breaks down a lot to the car, and it's just vibes. So check it out by clicking somewhere up here. I'm not sure where. But now onto what's not here, what you don't see, the cars that aren't present at this point in time. And one of them is the very important Lamborghini Aventador SVJ. This car is actually the car in the collection that I've owned the longest, apart from my Lexus IS250 that I completely forgot I owned. But I've owned it the longest out of like the modern cars. It's gone at the moment, and the reason for that is not sad because it's getting wrapped again, even though it's wrapped now in this all-white Wolf of Wall Street type thing. But I'm changing that to a unique wraps. 760 horsepower, despite saying 770 on the side, 0 to 60 in about 2.4 seconds. It is the most brutal car in the collection, and it's hard to decide which one is my favorite out of that and the 918 Spyder. But the Aventador SVJ and the 918 Spyder are 2 cars that I will never ever sell. Unfortunately, it's not here right now. I would love to show you around it and show you in this video. It would just look cool, but it's gone to get some much needed cosmetic work done. We have a few new cars join the collection over the next few months. Some of the things you won't expect, and some might be a bit more obvious. The next might be as recent as next week, I don't know, the week after, we'll see. Hypercar, that definitely, we need another one of those. I want to get a little run around like a BMW M2. I'm not sure if that's realistic, but I think it'll be cool. I've never owned a BMW M2 before, but I think it's time that I get an M car in the collection. The Alpine A290 has gone. Farewell Alpine A290, bon voyage. It was great knowing you, but you only have like 150 miles of range on a good day, and that sucks. Yeah, I mean, the collection is, I think, healthy. It's very diverse. We have a lot of grey cars at the moment, so I need to add some more colour to it. The SVJ is obviously coming back, but yeah, I guess that's a collection update for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a very off-the-cuff video. If you have any suggestions for cars that I should look at, just drop them in the comments. And I'm gonna give away something spontaneously. Come on, let's look for something to give you guys. So if you wanna win this, all you have to do is go into the comments and write I love Spyders, but you have to spell it like 918 Spyder. And you could get yourself I don't know what to give away. You could get yourself a treat, a sweet treat. Yeah, no. You can get yourself, you know what? Oh, do you know what you could get yourself? A model of the SF90. How about that? How about that? If you want an SF90 model, that's the exact same spec as my car. All you have to do is write Spyders are nice. I don't know what else to give away. I need to look out, but SF90 model, you can get that. Anyway, thank you for joining for another episode of Tommy's Life Only Surrounds Cars. And the next time, hopefully, we'll be bringing you something special, maybe something loud, a little something loud, or a new car reveal, depends. What do you want, a new car reveal or something loud next? I'm not sure what people would prefer. I really want an Aston Martin Valhalla, but you have to put a £380,000 deposit. It's non-refundable.